Hey guys, my name's Taylor, and today we're going to be learning how to sew one of these cool things. Now, what is this, you might ask? Well, this is a really cool handmade little stand for your phone. As you can see here when I set it down, there's a little groove here that you can put the bottom of your phone or tablet in, and then it rests against this top cushy part. Now this is perfect if you have Zoom meetings that you need to use your tablet or phone for. You're doing classes on your tablet or phone and want to set that up so that you can watch the tutorials. This will even work if you're in the kitchen and looking at your recipes as you're cooking, or hey, even for some of our tutorials that we send out with our sewing club kits. So the cool thing about this is if you look at this back, there's a little ribbon that makes a little loop. Now that is for putting the charging cord through. So you can put your charging cord through, plug in your device, and let it rest there. That way you don't get all tangled up in the charging cord. So, are you ready to make this? I know I sure am. So, you're going to want to get out your kit from your monthly sewing club shipment and your stuffing. If you didn't see the stuffing, it's in a little vacuum sealed pack in there, and you're going to want to cut open the pack and let it just sit there so that it can start to get the air come back into it and start to get fluffy again. We're going to actually set this aside for the time being, and we're going to open up our project kit. So you can see that we have some lentils. We're going to set that aside with our stuffing as well. And we're going to take out our fabric and this white thing. This white thing is actually interfacing. It's fusible, which means once we heat it up, there's some glue on here that's going to stick onto the fabric. And its job is to just make things a little bit more stiff. Kind of like if you wanted to sew cardboard or paper into your project. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you get your sewing machine threaded and the needle put in. Okay, first step, we are going to take this piece of fabric and we're going to iron it out. You can tell that there's a lot of wrinkles and stuff that were in this from being folded and shipped to you. So you're going to want to have your iron on a pretty warm setting. This is cotton fabric, so you can have it on your cotton setting and nothing will get burned. So once we have that all done, we're actually going to fold this with the right sides together, so the pretty sides up, and we're going to fold it hamburger style. So we're matching up these long edges here, or the short edges here. Now I'm just going to use my iron to make a little crease here. Kind of like when you do origami, this is going to be a marker for us to use. Then we need to open this up and we're going to work with this interfacing. If you look on both sides of this white piece, you can see that one side is shiny. That's the side with the glue on it. You want to make sure that that shiny side is facing down towards the wrong side, so not the pretty side of your fabric. We're going to line this short edge up over here with this crease, and that's going to give us about 1/2 inch of room over here next to the raw edge. We're also going to take our ruler and measure up about 1.5 to 2 inches from this edge of your fabric to the edge of your interfacing. Now make sure that you're even on both ends. Once you're even, all you need to do is put down your iron to heat up this interfacing. And what that'll do is heat up the glue on the other side and make it stick to our fabric. So once you get that done, you're just going to kind of test it out and make sure it's stuck. Now we have to sew part of this together. We're going to fold this back like it was when we pressed it. And we're going to work with this side up. Now the side that has the smaller end is going to be the bottom of our piece. This is going to be the top. And that's going to be important because we don't want to sew the top together right now. We just want to sew the long edge and most of the bottom. We're going to leave about 1 to 1.5 inches open here. So go ahead and pin this all together and then sew. Now we are going to sew the top edge together. Now we're going to do that by leaving it with the right sides together, taking this sewn edge and flattening it out, and then we are going to match that up with the crease in the other end. Go ahead and line the two top pieces up and pin in place. Then you're going to sew all the way across, except for leave 1 inch or 1/2 inch gap, just like we did on the bottom here. Now, as we get close to the end, we're going to take this little piece webbing that you have in your kit. Now, this is going to be the little loop for your charger to go through, but we need to make sure that we get it sewn into our project. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece and double it over in half so it looks like a little loop. Then you want to put the folded edge inside, pointed towards this end of the piece. And go ahead and line up these folded raw edges with the raw edges of your part that you're sewing together. And then we're just going to kind of hold it there and let it get sewn over. Now, if you do it right in front of your presser foot, that's going to be the easiest way to make sure that it stays in place as you sew over the top. All right, now it's time to turn this right side out. So you're going to reach into one of the little holes that you left and just pull it right out. Awesome. Now once this is done, you're also going to want to take your finger in there and poke out all these corner points so that they're nice and pokey. You can also use a pen or a pencil to do this as well. Okay, now you can see that your loop is sewn in. That's great. And remember, that's the top and the other side's the bottom. What we're going to do is we are going to iron all the way around this. We just want to press these edges that we sewed flat. So make sure that your edges are lined up well. And then what's going to happen when we get over here to this opening, we're just going to roll in about 1/2 inch of that raw edge and just press it flat. Now that's going to hold good enough until we can get it sewed together. And we're going to do the same thing on this upper edge. Okay, now we're going to get to do some more sewing. You can see that it's starting to look a lot like our phone stand, but we're not quite there yet. What we're going to do is we're going to sew a line down each edge of that interfacing that we put in earlier. Now this is going to sew the front and the back of the fabric all together, and that's going to keep the stuffing from up here from getting down here and the stuff from down here from getting up here. And it's going to make a nice little place for the bottom of our phone or tablet to sit. So what you're going to need to do is feel across like this to feel for that interfacing. When you feel where the edge is, that's where you're going to sew, about 1/8 inch inside of that edge. Make sure that you're getting through all of those layers of fabric. Now it's time for our stuffing and our lentils. We're going to take this stuffing and put it into this top part. Now that's why we left a hole, so you're going to open that hole up and just start pushing this stuffing inside until your whole top cavity here is completely full. All right, next we need to fill this bottom cavity, and we're going to use our lentils for that. So if you don't have a funnel, what you can do is make a funnel out of a piece of paper. Now once you get this mostly full, we are going to put some pins in this open hole to hold it together, and then we're just going to sew really close to the edge to close that hole up. We're also going to do the same with this hole up here by the stuffing. Go ahead and pin it together and then sew really close to the edge. Now once you even those lentils up, you can see that you have a phone stand or tablet stand ready to use. Now, I'm sure all of your friends are going to be jealous, but the good news is you can use the downloadable pattern for this project and make one for all of your friends.